Good morning and welcome to the Jefferson County Commission meeting. Today is January 4th, 2024. It's 9:30 a.m. We would like to start off with a prayer by Pastor Craig Bush from the Grace Baptist Church.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for the day, what you've done for us. Thank you for the privilege to do work. Lord, thank you for the work of our government as well as your work. Help us to realize you're the head. We're to follow you. Follow your words as we do the work today. In Jesus' name, amen.
You could remain standing for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll start off the meeting with selection of president, vice president, and committee assignments. I'll open the floor for any nominations for president.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Tricia Jackson.
Okay. Any other nominations? For president?
I nominate Steve Stoliper.
All right.
Is that permissible to have that 2 years in a row? Oh, is it? It is.
All right, any other nominations? There are no objections. I'll close nominations. Show of hands, please raise your hand for if you're in favor, Commissioner Jackson being chairman. 2, and for Steve, Commissioner Stolper. 3.
Are you kidding me?
2. Sorry.
I'm just very surprised. I thought that maybe we had a rule about some-
We don't.
We don't have on that.
Pass a rule like that, if that's something you're interested
I
in.
think that
Let's
is.
talk about that. Sure.
Thank you, Pasha.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think that's a good idea.
Selection of vice president, I'll open up nominations.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Jackson.
I'll nominate Commissioner Taft. Any other nominations? All right, if there's no objections, I'll close nominations.
I'll nominate myself for vice president.
Vice president, okay. All right, all four. So we have Jackson. Tab. All right, by a show of hands, all in favor for Mr. Jackson as chairman, vice chairman, 2. All in favor for Commissioner Tab, 2. All in favor of Tasha.
Alone,
All right. So we'll
hurt my feelings. That's a joke, that's all right.
All right.
If you want to retabulate it, we could vote again.
We need a vice president.
We do.
We can revote it, it's
I
fine.
think I would
I'll
like
change my
to,
vote this time if I don't have enough support.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Jackson.
Yeah, we got Commissioner Jackson. I'll nominate Commissioner Tab. With show of hands, if for Commissioner Jackson, please raise your hand. 2, Commissioner Tab, please raise your hand.
Goodness gracious.
All right. All right, selection of boards for 2024. First ask, are there commissioners are you comfortable with your boards? Or do you want to go through the list?
I'd like to go through the list.
Somebody have an extra list that I can scribble on things.
It's in your agenda packet.
I just want, I use it. Take it. All right, here we go. All right. Who's interested or who would be interested in approval of bills?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Jackson.
Usually you just nominate yourself.
Well, I'm nominating Commissioner Jackson.
Okay.
The approval bill,
Approval of bills.
I'm trying to continue, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, Kevin Jackson. For show of hands for Commissioner Jackson.
I don't know, because right here it says bills have and credit. I never was given my training for that, but we did, and I did try. But we did have the 2. Last week.
It's always good to have a backup. I mean,
Yes.
sometimes you can be someplace access somewhere. Depending on your location, like.
Is everybody in favor of having 2 on that? Okay.
Sure.
All right, if there's no objections, then Tab, Commissioner Jackson will be on approval of bills. For Board of Health, is anybody interested in Board of Health?
I'm fine with.
All right. If there are no objections, we'll close the no objections. Commissioner Kraus will remain on the Board of Health. Building Repair and Security Courthouse Committee. Okay. If there are no objections, Commissioner Kraus will remain on Building Repair and Security Courthouse Committee. Charlestown Utility Board.
I'm fine with staying on that.
How does this work? Am I filling in any of these spots?
We, you have, if you- the one that you want, just say,
Could you all speak up so we can hear you?
Yes, sir.
if there's one you would like to be on, just say, yeah.
Mr. Chair, could you please speak
Yes,
loud
sir.
so we can hear what's going on?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was, okay. Anybody else interested in CTUB?
I'll throw my hat in the ring for at least one here. Why not?
So if
I'm
you
not
do,
trying to be competitive about it. If you want to at least take up some of the work.
yes, no doubt. All right, so therefore, we only have one person on that board. We'll have to vote on that one. With a show of hands for Commissioner Jackson for CTUB, please raise your hand. 2, 3, for Pasha, 2. So Commissioner Jackson will remain on CTUB. For Community Corrections Board, Day Report Center. Takers.
Maybe Pasha can.
When is that meeting? Commissioner Jackson was on that.
It's Wednesdays at the second week, second Wednesday, second week on a Wednesday. It looks like 1 PM.
Do they have a Zoom option?
I assume they do. They usually do send out the option for Zoom.
Wednesdays are kind of.
Okay.
Yep. A few options, so I'll throw my hat in the ring for that one.
Okay. All right, we'll leave that one blank. We'll come back to that.
The day report right now is open.
It's open. Yes, ma'am. All right, Development Authority, takers.
I'd like to mention Tricia.
So I'd be interested in serving on CDA.
Anybody else? I don't mind staying on there either.
I think it would be good to kind of move things around a little bit with some of these, because other commissioners are interested in helping in other areas
Sure.
too. So I think it's good that people move around a bit.
Yeah, I'm interested in that one as well.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll put Commissioner Jackson's interested and Commissioner Mache.
Well, Pasha, do you know when they meet? They meet at 3:00
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, so that might be bad for you.
Yeah, well, if we can Zoom it, that should be fine.
All right, show of hands for Commissioner Jackson for the JCDA. Show of hands. Commissioner Mache, please show hands. Mache wins 3-2. For E911 Council, anybody interested in that one?
I'll take that one.
All right. If there are no objections, Commissioner Tab will be the E911 Council. For Extension Service,
I'd like to continue with that.
anybody else? No objections, Commissioner Tab will remain as Extension Service liaison. Farmland Protection Board,
I think that could be interesting. You're on it though.
I would like to serve this last year. I'm
sure, you bet.
in a passion of mine since.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's all right.
I sure do hope we're protected from homeland.
If there anybody else, there are no objections, Commissioner Tab will remain on the Farmland Protection Board. Visitors Bureau, I don't mind serving on that again.
I'll volunteer if there's Wednesday.
There is a calendar in your agenda packet.
I haven't memorized it, sorry.
They meet at 12 PM on Wednesday.
Oh, they do. There you go.
All right.
I'm happy to do it.
Jennifer.
I said I'm happy. I'm sorry, my voice is still fine. My voice is going.
So we have, you're coming out. Okay. All right, so it's between myself and Commissioner Kraus. The show of hands for the CVB for Commissioner Kraus, raise your hand, please.
just to switch things.
Okay, all right. 3, and for me, for solid work 2. So Commissioner Kraus will be on the CVB. All right. Jefferson County Fire and Rescue Association, we have 2. So typically we have 2 on that board.
No, so that was the ESA that I had, and Jennifer did the fire and rescue. We split that when Commissioner Compton was here.
I got you.
I
Okay.
would just like to say about that, I'm happy to stay there, but because you helped know everything, I thought maybe you'd be very interested in making that. Steve,
When do they meet?
they meet on Tuesdays, the first Tuesday of each month. in September.
Correct.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, maybe Pasha.
But you, that's a Tuesday night.
I'll volunteer for a different one. Thank you.
Anybody else for the Fire Association? Come back to it. All right, historic landmarks. We'll come back to the Fire Association. Anyone interested in the historic landmarks?
I am fine with staying there.
All right. Perhaps. Anybody else? If there are objections, Commissioner Kraus will be staying on the Historic Landmarks Commission. For Homeland Security, any takers?
I'm fine with staying on that.
Anyone else? There's no objections. Commissioner Jackson will remain on Homeland Security. Legislative Liaison, congratulations, our county administrator. Jefferson County Parks and Rec, that's always goes to our county administrator. Those who are listening, watching. Jefferson County Parks and Rec,
I'm fine there, but again, Pasha would. Is that or?
That's very nice. Sure, I'll be happy to help there. Can I ask the meeting time again?
Wednesday.
7 p.m.
At 7. I'm sorry, third Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday's tough for me.
all right.
I have church on Wednesday that I missed to come to some of these meetings. You know, so you gotta.
Well, when you put it that way, yeah.
There you go. All right. All right. Commissioner Mache is volunteer for that board. Is there any other nominations? If there are no objections, Commissioner Mache will serve on the Jefferson County Parks and Recreation Commission. All right, Jefferson County Planning Commission.
I'd actually be very interested in that.
All right, I don't mind serving again.
Well, I think that you've served there for a while. I think it's nice to share.
I agree. I don't mind serving again.
Do I mind hearing more about what's going on in the county at the planning commission?
All right, we have two volunteers. Show of hands for Commissioner Kraus, please raise your hand. Show of hands for Commissioner Stoliper, please raise your hand. All right, for Region 9, that is, I had that. Claire had that last year. And of course, I took it over when she resigned.
Okay. I can fill that in.
Okay. All right. Commissioner
What's
Mache?
the meeting time on that one?
It's,
I have it. I just, I'm too slow.
We pay for the hearings.
Monday for That's my kind of meeting.
all right, Mondays are good. All right, any other volunteers? All right, for Region 9, if there are no objections, Mr. Machi will serve as Region 9. For Solid Waste Authority, Commissioner Ass served on that. I filled in while she left. She resigned.
Yeah, I can do that. Monday 7.
Steve, you only have one.
Sorry.
I only see that you're on. So far, we're not almost done.
Yeah, we're going to come back to a couple of them.
If you want to keep that one, that's fine, or I can do it. I'm very flexible.
That's fine.
Whatever you want to do is fine.
All right, so solid waste, Commissioner Matchley is a volunteer for that one. Is there any other volunteers? If there are no objections for the Solid Waste Authority, Commissioner Matchley will serve as the Solid Waste Authority liaison for the Hagerstown Eastern Panhandle Metropolitan Planning Organization. They're doing that. I don't mind serving again. I think they meet quarterly year. Anybody else want to volunteer? If no objections, Commissioner Stolper will remain on the Hagerstown Eastern Panhandle Metropolitan Planning Organization for Eastern Panhandle Transit Authority. Any volunteers?
Oh, yes. One behind. I would like, I'm fine continuing on the evening.
Okay. Anybody else? And if there's nobody else, if we don't have anybody else, if there are no objections, Commissioner Tab will remain on the Eastern Panhandle Transit Authority Board for Workforce Investment Act Liaison.
Or something, because it's
We
really.
have quarterly meetings, but an annual board.
Anybody else? All right, well, if there are no objections, Commissioner Jackson will remain on the Workforce Investment Act as liaison. We had to go back up to Community Corrections Day Report Center.
Day 1 p.m.
Wednesdays at 1 p.m. I'll just stay on that if no one else wants
I'll
it.
say I'll be happy to take it, just because I'll be happy to do it. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter.
I'm fine, it's just staying on.
Okay, all right. All right, so Commissioner Jackson. There's no objections. Commissioner Jackson will remain on the Community Corrections Day Report Center Board. And the only other one we have is the Jefferson County Fire and Rescue Association, which meets the first Tuesday of every month. I do have a conflict then. So anybody else interested in that board? Any takers? All right.
Nobody else wants to do that?
So, I mean, I can do it again. Thought since Steve was.
Yeah, I have a board. I sit on the same time that night. So same time. So, anybody?
I'll do it.
Can we have a water advisory committee? That's someone.
You're right, yes.
It was left. blank.
Yeah, I was on that. Been active this past year.
Oh, interesting. I didn't see that in the
Water advisory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Here it is.
listed. It's-
not on the list.
It was on.
Water Advisory Committee.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to research that in advance. What is that?
It was left blank.
We don't have a fit on that board. We didn't have a big agenda, but keep abreast of the water quality issues and increasing out the water supply. Actually, our water table.
Right.
Just something the community's aware of and gathering information, the crisis. Everyone's attention.
We never
What
had.
time does it meet?
It's not on. That's why I say they've been rather inactive this last year and I don't.
Tell you what, I'll volunteer to get involved, figure out. when-
Okay, yeah, and I'll,
If I find out there's a conflict, is it all right with the group? I bring it back.
sure, and I'll, Mary Sell is the president right now. Contact her and ask about
Thanks. And how do you spell the last name?
LFELL.
I guess that, or-
All right, so if there are no objections, Commissioner Monday will be on the Water Advisory Board. We'll find out the dates and times. And then we move back to Jefferson County Fire and Rescue. If there's Commissioner Kraus had volunteered for that one again. If there are no objections, Commissioner Kraus will remain on the JCFR. All right, that concludes all the board assignments.
Can you tell me once again, please, President, just Steve, who did we choose for vice president?
The- All right, approval of minutes. December.
Oh, yeah, I've got a few issues.
Okay.
So there were a few typos and then I had a substantive question. Just go through the typos first. Sure. Okay. Just give me a second to switch to the right page. Item number 5 on the motion, my surname is spelled M-A-J-D-I. If you could change that.
I corrected all of those.
You did? Awesome. Thank you. Under, right here, under 11, under the, in the bold text, it should, advice should be changed to advised, please. And under 16, all the commissioners are listed, so it's in the second to last sentence, blank after commissioner, that should be Stoliper. And then I had a substantive question on 16. There was a back and forth on 16 with the staff where I asked the attorney and the planning and zoning administrator or director some questions, and I'd like the answers to those questions to be reflected in the minutes. Is that something we could do?
I would recommend if we do that we just table the minutes and in there. For the next meeting.
I have a couple things too.
Okay, sure.
So I'm just for the matter of record, item number 10, same thing. Your surname is listed as Majdi. Also in item number 10, I would just like it to reflect that the back and forth related to the interim county administrator and the concerns that Ms. Benitez holds 2 positions in the county, and that we did not set salary for her for the interim position or any adjustment for her current salary. It was said that we would figure that out, handle that later. That is not on the agenda to do so. Under number 11, item E, which was already, I called the advised to, but I would like it also noted that it was suggested that the consideration for levy be deferred to the general election. That was consideration by council, or suggestion by council, with multiple workshops being conducted between now and leading up to that general election with the
that should be in
public.
there.
Yeah. And then item number 13, I made the motion to approve the 24 Jefferson County Commission regular meeting schedule. I didn't make the motion for setting the today's date, January 4th at 9:30 a.m. I think Commissioner Stolifer made that motion. He made the motion for the specific date of today at 9:30 a.m. I think my motion just is in the schedule when we made that motion. So just a matter of correction that they would say Commissioner Stoller first selected the date and time for the first regular meeting.
Does anybody have any objections for us to table this and I'll just have it cleaned up and brought back to the next meeting?
I don't have objection, but I have a comment if you have time.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I think what Commissioner Jackson and what I asked for on different items is sometimes referred to as annotating the notes and the minutes, I should say. And I think that's a good idea for select items. I don't want to burden the staff with annotating the back and forth for every single item. It would be too much work, but occasionally, as we just saw through this discussion, it is warranted. And I think in these 2 cases, it's a good idea. Thank you.
I have a little correction on agenda item number 9. Both of the motions for employees, for EMTs and we have the motions down, but there's no
Oh, I see.
There's no final vote.
Yeah.
We have to have approved.
All right. I'll just do a quick motion to release and minutes until the next meeting. We'll get it cleaned up and bring it back at our next scheduled meeting. Have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right. Accounts approval, accounts payable for December 8th, 2023, in the amount of $543,307.31. If there are no objections, that's approved. For accounts payable for January 4th, 2024, the amount of $823,520.09. If there are no objections, that is approved. For approval of manual checks for December 29th, 2023, $186,583.99. If there are no objections, that is approved. For manual checks for approval for January 5th, 2024, an amount of $186,583.99. If there are no objections, that is approved. For approval of requisitions, January 4th, 2024, an amount of $98,557.75. If there are no objections, that is approved. Approval of payroll for December 22nd, 2023, in the amount of $312,286.64. If there are no objections, that is approved. We're going to move on to public comment. First on our list will be Danny Lutz. If you can come up, state your name, your address, and you will have 3 minutes.
Since there's no microphones, I'm going to stand here so I can address everyone who would like to hear. I'm Danny Lutz, 175 Wheatland Road, Charlestown, West Virginia. I'm elected supervisor from Jefferson County to the Eastern Panhandle Conservation District. In that body, I am also on the board of directors of the West Virginia Conservation Agency. I am on the Ag Enhancement State Committee. I'm on the State Fair Committee, and I am vice chair of the Government Operations Committee. So I have a few credentials. Besides that, as of July, I and a colleague of mine were named as expert witnesses to the United States Senate Commerce Committee on Artificial Intelligence, and I'm on the program board of the Satellite 2024 International Space Conference coming up in March. So I have a few credentials. I attended a meeting on Tuesday of the Eastern region of the Conservation Agency, the four northern and easternmost districts. And this is terrible to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. This body is a laughing stock around the state of West Virginia. I apologize because you're new. You didn't make this problem. Mr. Pasha, I'll try and get your name up correct, I promise. There wasn't a good word said about the Jefferson County Commission in that meeting on Tuesday in Philippi, nor in the legislative meeting, which was virtual yesterday at 1 o'clock. Last year, the Eastern Panhandle Conservation District spent about $1.5 million solely in Jefferson County. That was a state, federal, and no local funds, by the way, because Jefferson County didn't appropriate a penny for us. Further, we requested that the Jefferson County Commission adopt the rules under the code section, the code Article 7, Section 1, Paragraph 3, uniform. I won't go into those details because I have less than a minute left, I think. But the body took this to study and has yet to report back on it. Nobody, since I took office on the Eastern Panhandle Conservation Board, from this body, in July 1 of 2016, not one person from this body has ever attended one of our meetings. Yet you were talking about water resources and such. These are one of our members from Morgan County is chair of the State Water Resources Committee. He's a tremendous resource, but you won't even utilize him. And finally, I'm going to cut short because I know time's running out. The way you all conducted business this morning was an abomination. First off, the chair is obligated to remain neutral. In a small body, the chair can certainly speak, but according to Robert's Rules of Order, the chair does not make motions and does not discuss motions in business session. You need to observe parliamentary procedure. It will prevent some of the problems you were addressing in the minutes, if you would. And well, I'll stop because I came in here with a chip on my shoulder and I still have it.
Next we have Dave Ted.
Excuse me, Mr. Lutz, I'm gonna give you my card. I don't know.
This is not parliamentary, but I'll trade cards with you.
Well, I think it's necessary because I don't know. Thank you, sir.
David Tab, lifelong resident, taxpayer. I really don't think I need to add anything else to the previous speaker. It's pretty sad. And it's getting worse. And it's going to get even worse. I appreciate the prayers at the beginning of these meetings, but I don't think it's working. Just saying. So again, on December the 21st meetings, number 11, RE fire levy. What a joke. Told the people for over 2 years that this is coming. And the past and current president of the county commission, which I think is an abomination of power, is going to try to force this down everybody's throat with 3 people. It's not what you guys are here for. You're supposed to let the public do that. Same way with emergency services. We had the largest increase of taxes in this county ever. Coming again and again. Number 16, same minutes, solar tax. There is no way that there could be 3 people voting to reestablish the solar tax. It wasn't written in. There's a conflict of interest. That's been the beginning, and still is now. So who is that third person? Can't be there. With the current county commission, the other state elected officials, including our so-called elected judicial judges, it appears the government is fighting the government. It's quite hilarious on my side. It used to be the government was fighting the tab. That's what you guys used to do. Yeah, I'm down here in the court right now challenging the whole state. I was invited in. I got a jury trial coming up in July the 23rd. I'm not an attorney. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of conflicts, and the world, counties, the state, US, the whole world is in conflict right now. And this all goes sideways. You gotta do is read history books. What y'all gonna do? There ain't gonna be any money. Think about it. I'm available to assist if I can. We'll be on the ballot in November. Have a nice day.
Next we have Jackie Shield.
Good morning, commissioners. I'm going to just stand if that's okay. I'm here today. Tricia, Commissioner Jackson touched on it a little bit in reference to Ms. Benita's personal action form. It's very important that my office receives that. Per the auditor, we're not allowed to do back pay. So I don't know if you're planning on having this issue on the agenda for the next commission meeting. I mean, she would have been working 3 weeks by then, I think. So it is very important. I've been contacted by a reporter twice in reference to this. So all could put that on the agenda and make a vote on it, decide what you're going to do, and let my office know as soon as possible. I appreciate it. That's it. Thank you.
Do we have anybody online? Okay.
Before we get any further, I think that I'd like to back. I'd like to address the selection of our commission president. I'm having an issue with this because I feel that there's too much control. The issues that I have had the past year, being heard on this commission, using my voice, which I don't have much of right now, using my voice to represent the people, and that being together hindered by the current president. I think that we should revisit this, and I think that the current president should consider what people are saying, and listen and allow, like it or not, another person to step up as president. And I would like to open the nominations. If that's appropriate. I'd like to
We
nominate
already
Commissioner
voted.
Jackson.
We already voted.
Yes, I know.
And
Yes, I know. I don't think it's funny. I really don't think it's funny. People's voices are not being heard. It's very clear. I think that you should, for the county, step aside and let another person take a turn. I have noticed a pattern, in my opinion, where there's too much control over certain areas in this county. And I think that you should, for the good of the county, step aside and encourage another member of the commission to take a turn. I really do. I think it's what's best.
We just took that vote.
But do you see, are you listening when the
Point of
residents come
order.
up and
Point
talk?
of order. You were discussing an item. Did you want to discuss this more? Put it on the agenda for our next meeting.
I would love to, but I have been ignored when I place agenda requests, Commissioner Tab. So you see, I can't do that because they won't be allowed to be on the agenda. That's the problem.
To Commissioner Tabb's point of order, we are out of order. We've already voted.
Yes.
You did vote and everybody on this board. So we're going to move on to agenda item number 2, Ms. Angie Banks, approval of board review of equalization notice. She online?
And here, I'll move that we.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning. Did you get a chance to look at the notice of Board of Review and Equalization?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and do we need to move to a board of equalization review board, move forward now?
Yeah, because it's talking about estates in our.
Okay.
We only have the board notice, so I'm not sure.
But this is the notice so that people will know when to contact our office for informal hearings, the dates to sign up for Board of Review if they choose to go to Board of Review, or the date they can contact the Office of Tax Appeals if they choose to go that direction. Now, the dates on here are the minimum amount of days that we need to meet. We have to meet by February 1st, and we cannot sine die before February 16th. And we have to meet within 3 business days between each meeting. Last year, I mailed out 19,000 letters, and we had about a handful at Board of Review. This year, I am mailing out less than 3,000 letters, most of which are new construction due to all the houses. So we just need to, look at this and see if it meets your approval. So when we mail out the letters, we can start setting dates if needed for hearings.
So the only thing we're necessary for us to do is just to vote on the dates.
Yes, yes. And there's time, You have to sine die by the end of February. So there's plenty of time, if we get snow or something and need to add some dates, we have cushion there to do so.
Now, I'll move that we approve the times that the assessor has provided for board of review and commission beginning February 1st, 2024.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
Sorry for. The meeting listed for Tuesday, February 6th. I will be out of town that day. We'll be at the county office. Can you hear me, Ms. Banks? I don't know if she can hear me.
I think we just need a quorum for
Okay.
these, so if you're not able, then we just need to have a quorum.
Okay.
Yes, as long as we have 3 that can meet.
We have called in before for these if there was, we needed a quorum.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
One question for the assessor, Angie. I think last year we talked about doing a training for commissioners, which you said, they could, you could show them the review documents for their property and some of the maybe abbreviations or find the information on the sheets, because it does something.
We can most certainly do that. It is up to you. We can most certainly make it an agenda item or do like a special session. That is totally up to you guys.
I think that would be helpful. A totally new commissioner and, yeah, the property review documents I don't work with them every day, so it's nice to have a refresher course.
Ms. Banks, would you want to give us maybe at our next meeting, give us some dates and times maybe that we could probably do that?
Well, let's see. When is your next meeting? Will be. You want to do it before February 1st. So, do you want to just go ahead and put it on the agenda for the next meeting? Or do you want to have a special session?
I think it would be better to have like a workshop.
Shop is fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, I'll move a motion that we have a workshop with Ms. Banks for a workshop to, how do I say that? For the information regarding the board review and equalization and commission at a date to be determined. Just leave it blank because we don't know yet. Just shoot us around maybe email. We'll try to figure it out.
Yes, it just really needs to be done before February 1st. So we can touch base and figure out a date that works for everyone.
Okay. We'll do that by a series of emails for scheduling purposes.
You made the motion, I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. All right, next we have Matt Harvey, prosecuting attorney. With item number 3.
Identified an assistant prosecuting attorney to hire Adam Ward, who previously worked in the office and did an exceptional job. He left the employee of the prosecutor's office to go into private practice. He finds himself desiring to come back. This would be one of the most seamless transitions of a new employee that I've ever had. Since we still have his office open, we never replaced his spot. His starting salary is $115,000, and it is budget neutral.
What would his start date?
It's not, it's tentatively going to be the 12th, but I would just ask that we make it effective for the 5th or something and just give some flexibility. But I know he has to work out things with his current employer.
Talking about January.
January.
All right, I'll move that to approve the approval of Adam Ward, $115,000. Start date is 1/5/24.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, next we're going to move agenda item number 4, Karen Olden, probate office. Nikki, yes, here we go.
Good morning.
Now I will move to convene as a fiduciary review.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I was thinking since you.
Yeah. So this morning I have something very simple. It's not complicated. It is just the estates that have been opened since the last session. And then the second part of that are the accounting waivers and final settlement for the estates that we can now close. They have met all their requirements. So you would just need to approve the estates that are opened and the accounting and waivers of final settlement.
I move that we approve the states open and waivers of final settlement and accounting for the last quarter, which is October 2023.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Signature.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
And there's
All right, we're going to move on to agenda item number 5, Mike Stein, Director
you
of
have to
Jefferson.
come out of the fiduciary.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. I move that we convene in regular session.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're going to move on to agenda item number 5, Mike Stein, Director of Emergency Services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Back again to discuss this. 2 meetings ago, we brought it up. It was to be tabled to the next meeting. It didn't make it onto the agenda under old business. So I put it back on for today. I'd like for this, I'm asking for this to be the final time we discuss this, if possible, so that I can either put this to bed or move forward with it. I've provided quite a few documents related to it. So I'm not sure if you have questions or you would like me to discuss the whole project again. Sure.
If you don't, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine. No. Sometimes I ramble on you. Go ahead.
No, and sometimes I interrupt. I apologize. I have a question. And if I've asked this before, please forgive me.
Sure.
What is the lifespan of some of these ambulances? I ask because I looked at this vehicle asset list that we have,
Mhm.
and several, I noticed 4 of them, average 10 years.
Yeah, that's why that request, it was something I needed to do, but Mr. Jackson had asked a couple times for this, so I got this together. This is the complete list of our assets that we currently have. You can see in another form, I put together what is not the official capital outlay, but what would be my projects coming up. We don't have an official program where we replace the cars every so many years or whatever, so, and fire gear and other associated projects. Typically, what you like to have a 10-year span on an ambulance. Some of that depends on the quality of the unit that you build initially. It's how much use it gets out of it. You can obviously get more life out of an ambulance. It's hard to really say what you're going to have in 10 years. We may have a unit that's become a lemon, or we may have a unit that's still in great shape. And so what I propose is to have a 10-year life cycle And at least for now, we have really no idea where we'll be. In a few years, we can reevaluate that. And current issues with purchasing ambulances is there is very much a backlog. A lot of the manufacturers are still recovering from COVID. They're having supply issues and such. So it takes about 2 to 3 years, unfortunately, to get a unit. So again, don't know where we'd be when if we purchased new ones today. It may be 2 years. I don't know where we'll be with a couple of these older units. We could have one that lost a motor or something. It may just not be worth investing. A typical diesel engine replacement now is like 20 to 25,000. So I mean, on the higher mileage units, you're talking about that. I mean, many of our units physically are in great shape, but you can see the mileage is all over the place. And a lot of them are quality builds. A few of them are what we call remounts. If you design and build your unit with the intention, you can take that box off the chassis and mount it on a new chassis and reuse that for another life. If you don't prep that into your build, that doesn't turn out very well a lot of times. So remounts are a toss up. You can save about $100,000 on getting a new ambulance because you're reusing part of the old one, but it takes your old one out of service while they rebuild it. So there's pros and cons to that as well. This, again, this project is kind of, I approached Shepherdstown about it because they wanted to maintain the opportunity to use their ambulance. That's why they still own it, because of the fact that they are so community oriented. They do the Shepherd standbys, they do fairs, festivals, lots of small things they take it out for, public ed. So they get quite a bit of use out of their unit. And through the transition where we decided that the only county owned units would respond to 911 calls, they no longer have the opportunity to use that unit. And as it takes up a place in their building, I do not have a place for a reserve truck. And being that Shepherdstown is a little farther out from the rest of the stations, in the event in the middle of the night, if the guys walk out and the primary unit has a flat tire, doesn't start, they don't have a backup unit to hop into to take. So this unit's still being in very good shape. It was a high quality build when it was built. It does, it is about 7 years old. Does have about 60,000 miles on it. So it would be about average for what our fleet is currently. We worked out the use agreement that we discussed. You weren't here for this. They wanted to spell out the partnership, what we would do if we purchased this unit from them. Would they still be allowed to use it for their fairs and festivals? Who would license it? Who would maintain it? It would become part of our county fleet. We would license it under the agency. It would have the ability to, again, participate in the 911 transport, be dispatched by the ECC. Their volunteers could utilize it for all the things they have been doing, and our crews will be able to utilize it as a backup piece. So there is a lot of positives to it. That really the only downside is it does have a little age to it. And when we look at the cost, we worked out a price of $216,500, I believe. 125 of that's for the unit itself. That would be the empty unit. So as opposed to $300,000 for a brand new one, that was the assessed value of that unit. And then the additional prices for all the equipment in it, the heart monitor, the Lucas CPR device, the associated equipment that we haul in everyday units comes up to that additional price. It would require some additional funds to get it in service because all of our units got new two-way radios. They have IT equipment installed in them for the communications between the heart monitors, and they need what we call cradle points. So there's several items. Unfortunately, the stretcher on that unit is not in date to where it could be serviceable, just like the other 5 we had to purchase. We would have to purchase a stretcher for this unit, which the stretcher would be there about 10 years as well. So it would get plenty of life out beyond the life of this unit. Marshall and I had spoke, and we expect that what use it would see, because it would remain there for them to use and for us to use, that we'd probably get another at least 7 years out of that truck. just because it's not going to be a primary unit that runs every day of the week. So it's a real, you know.
Can I ask one?
Sure. Anybody you can ask, throw at me whatever you got. I'll try to answer.
So one for sale.
Mhm.
Packet. Would cost about, and then number 23 is the stretcher and the stair chair. The stretcher has the price tag of 5,000 and the stair chair.
That's because basically they only have trade-in value at this point. So we would give them what the Stryker would give us as trade-in to replace the with new. It needs a new stair chair like all the rest of the units got, and it needs, so we'd give them the value that we're going to get out of it when we trade them in, basically.
Okay, yeah, because I did see on the.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
They're not cheap.
No, unfortunately, nothing's cheap.
Some dollars for the stretcher and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah, the stretcher is almost as much as all the other items we need for that truck.
So the money that we Shepherd's for the old ones, stretcher and the chair, how do we get that back? Is that a trade-in?
Yeah, we would trade those units in for the new units, and that's the value that we would get as a trade-in.
Okay.
So basically, that's a neutral.
Okay, so maybe this cost of it come down or no?
No, I don't, no, because we're putting out this money initially,
Oh, okay.
so it's a wash, basically. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, the asset list, like I said, it's just a projection at this point. This is all new, you know, we haven't been long enough to even figure out what we think mileage is going to be and everyday use. Units are constantly being in and out of service. We still have some that are still being outfitted. And with repairs, there's been several times where we've been down to 0 backup units. But luckily, only one instance many, many months ago when Middle Way still had theirs, we borrowed for a couple days. But beyond that, we've been able to make it. But I think this is just a good insurance policy for that reason. It is a good unit overall, and it helps, it creates a good partnership. Unfortunately, this was not a thought or idea in the beginning. You know, at one point I had also wanted to purchase Middle Way's unit and do a similar thing, even though that unit was practically brand new. But this has been about 9 months. I think we've been talking about this. So, you know, they sold that. They had another buyer that came along and gave them a check. So
Is there, of the fleet that you have on here, ambulances, and is there one that has been in and out for repair more than another, or what are the ones that have been?
The one that is what I would consider the very first truck I think I have on here as, yeah, the top there. 1102. Yeah, that would be hopefully replaced in 2025. It has 96,000 miles on it already. That's the one we put a transmission in already. So it does have a, I'm not sure, it has a Cummins engine in it. So that's a more reliable diesel versus, but wouldn't expect to see a motor blow up in that truck, but it is, that's a lot of wear and tear on the truck, you know.
So when you say we hope replace that or see that one basically go away in 2025, which is that.
That's the projection, you know, that's what I'm putting my CIP. I don't know if we'll have the funds, and we'll, that would be one of the first unit, that, and then 1104, which is currently at 85,000 miles. It's 2015. So it's had some issues, but knock on wood, both trucks are in service and running today. You know, with the 3-year span on getting a new truck, can't predict what shape they'll be in.
Well, that's where I'm going with this question. If it's 18 months to 36 months to wait on purchasing a new unit, move us to get in queue now and for negotiating to purchase a new unit, given that these their lifespan is like possibly a year away.
Yes, on my list is to put together a committee. If you basically put a committee of your local experts, your employees, and then you get with several, identify what you want in it, and then contact the manufacturers, and they'll tell you what they have available, and then you spec it out, you provide your entire list, and yeah, that process takes about 6 months. We can start that.
And
But at the same time, I will need an idea, are we going to be ready to bid something and potentially purchase something, which I know will be identified in the budget process, but
The new ambulance that we just took possession of.
mhm.
Were we involved with that specking or was that?
Very little because it was already done. Citizens had spec'd that out. We were able to make some minor changes. When you go in the middle of a contract and you start making changes, then it incurs fees. So
Right.
yeah, we
I'm
made
just
a few.
wondering how close that unit is to what?
I can't say. We looked at several units down there at the factory when we picked that up and had some ideas. There is a different design that totally changes the layout in the back of a truck that several of us feel is a better flow. So I don't say that I can't guarantee that we'd use that spec or we'd use something different. It's something that you identify through your process, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a statement. I know there's no mention on the floor or whatever, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make my statement before we move forward. I think it would be more fiscally responsible and make more sense to begin to spec out and look at buying new units and using that money, given the lag time and the short lifespan on a couple that we need to replace. And get that going. We know we're eventually got to buy those new ambulances anyway. We have such a small amount of money left in ARPA, 840,000. We just don't know repair on these or purchasing a new, which is around what, 300, 350?
It's 300, but they've been going up at least 5% every year.
And so I just want to say these funds have already been earmarked or committed to ESA. So it's not like we're in a rush to spend those. But I think to be more fiscally responsible with what we have left, it would behoove us to consider buying or starting to spec out and going toward a purchase and get in the queue for a new ambulance or two.
I would say I will not be offended either way, which way you guys go on this. I think it is a toss up. It would be a good purchase. It has life, but at the same time, you're correct. It would be better if we could get this process moving. And if I knew for 100% for sure, we would have the funds and we're going to get this in a timely fashion and it would not get pushed out a couple more years. So that's the big way out. I think Shepherdstown, even though they are anticipating hoping that we're going to take it and they would still get full use out of it and they'd be able to use those funds for some station renovations and whatever, that they're going to continue to maintain that unit and use it like they are now. So they're not going to be out anything. So this really, yeah, I've done my due diligence, I think, and I really feel that it's a toss up and I'm bringing it to you guys to make the financial decision. So.
And this is my,
No,
just finished, sorry.
please. Yeah,
So this is the other flip side is I also, this is more a stance on my representation of the district that I live in is I can't support putting a second unit in the community that already has a unit to respond. On my community, Blue Ridge Mountain Fire Department, Middleway and Bakerton do not have one unit to respond. So I just can't in good conscience put a second unit where there's already coverage and second due calls can be covered or have been covered. There's been no issue when we have no one in our community. We don't have an ambulance in our community to respond as a first.
I understand your point.
So that's my perspective for representing the people in my community.
I understand that completely. Unfortunately, right now, as far as it goes, as far as rapid response and active medical personnel that are licensed for each department, Shepherdstown and Middleway are the only two that have a significant number of active personnel. So putting this unit would not be staffed with an additional crew from us. That would just be there. They would utilize it. Same way as I would have done in Middleway had I could have. Citizens does not have people, Friendship, Baker and only has, I think, one provider. The Mountain is in the same position. So that does weigh into the project, but yes, you're correct. And I appreciate that. Yes.
Do we have, is Shepherdstown listed as a rapid response unit in order to run that as a backup without the county purchasing? Can they run that ambulance?
No, not for 911
Because
calls.
they're not
Not licensed.
listed as a rapid response?
Yes, because of what we passed in this body as a rule that only county owned ambulances
Are in the
911 system. Yeah, they can still use it. They've used it for standbys, and there's been transports during the standbys, which they've handled, but for them to actually be dispatched, it would have to be a county owned unit, or we would have to change that policy. So.
A few questions.
Sure.
Commissioner Jackson, I like where you're heading with this. I think we have a similar idea. I'm going to make a motion eventually, but I just had a few actual questions first. Going back to the use of the vehicles for organizations, for sporting events, et cetera, those organizations, do they reimburse the county? Is there a policy for that use?
The standbys that we do currently, using county ambulances, they sign a contract if it goes through the county. So if we're involved in the standby itself, it goes through us. They sign a contract. There's a fee for our personnel to reimburse for wages, which is generally overtime for those, and for the unit, the use of the unit. Anything that Shepherdstown does on their own now with their unit currently, because it's not a county-owned unit and our personnel are not involved in it, there is no contractor fee. So that is something we haven't really discussed. If we purchased it, how we do that, I think that's something we'd have to work out. But if it doesn't involve our personnel and through our mutual use agreement that we could iron out an additional, if they were continuing to do the Shepherd football game with the ambulance we purchased from them, this one they're using now, I would think it would be relevant if they replaced the fuel in it while it sat there and idled during that game, that would cover that end of the contract. There really shouldn't be a contract other than the fact that we own the ambulance. It's not a county event. It's a single source standby. You know, like when we do the schools, Shepherdstown helps with those, but they don't get, the county doesn't get billed for that.
Right.
So
Well, it sounds like nickels and dimes here, but I would appreciate if you'd look into it. And I'm not saying that we should charge a fee, but if there's a small amount, maybe we could list it in the budget as an in-kind contribution to another municipality. These are all our constituents.
Right.
So they're all county
yeah,
residents.
as of right now, if it's
Keeping measure, I do think it might be useful.
right now, it is, I guess you would consider it income. The fair paid quite a bit for the week-long standby because we had units there every day. And it was primarily our units. Combination Middleway brought a rapid response unit, and then Shepherdstown brought a rapid response and their ambulance at different times. So that worked out, and the volunteers got donations basically from the fair for their part that we would have billed for had we used all of our equipment. So we do show it to some extent. Just Shepherdstown, if moving forward, we would have to maybe alter that a little bit if we purchase the unit. And if we don't purchase the unit, then it's still the same. Basically, if Shepherdstown's doing their own thing, it's their own private event that they're handling, then the county's not involved in the standby contract or anything because there's no use of county services.
Thanks. Could you tell me about the mechanics that we have on staff who are evaluating the health, if you will, of these vehicles and providing the information that you summarized today?
Currently, we use a couple different shops. We use one local shop in Burr Industrial Park. These guys are certified diesel mechanics. They're not emergency vehicle technicians. So emergency vehicle technicians really are needed for the box and its components. So the chassis is basically a pickup truck. So it's a diesel truck. So we use Obsession Performance in Burr Industrial Park. Those guys are diesel certified and they've been doing a very good job. Currently, the county shop does not have the equipment capable of lifting our units to even do the general service. So I believe I gave Laura Ms. Coon some information about that, and she's going to put that in as some of her budget this year. So hopefully they can purchase some equipment. We've put out probably 25,000 in general maintenance that could be handled by the county shop. And then we have we have a shop in Boonesboro who does the emergency stuff, the specialized equipment, the box and other things that our general shop can't handle.
Well, thanks for thinking ahead. That's what I was going to recommend.
Yeah. Laura's we've been talking about that. Yeah, because normally he just handles police cars, cruisers. The ambulances are probably, I think they're like 15,000 pounds. So none of their equipment will pick that up or anything out there.
I think the discussion over this particular purchase has spurred a larger discussion about how we maintain our vehicles, how we plan ahead for costs.
Right.
This document that I believe was produced at the request of Commissioner Jackson is very helpful for the public discourse. Since we've restructured our emergency services in the county, this has to be part of public discourse in the commission's business. So thank you for producing it for this agenda item. I wonder if we ought to have a broader discussion as perhaps a vehicle replacement plan that would be part of the CIP process. And if you could expand on this, so we do planning ahead that you had mentioned, I think that would be good for the commission. I like your suggestion, Commissioner Jackson. And I'm not going to make a motion right now. I'll offer it for discussion, and perhaps we could request that the staff develop a vehicle replacement plan as part of the CIP process. And maybe
it's one of the documents I provided.
It is provided.
Yeah. It's not that, I don't think it's the document I made up. It's not the official county form.
Mm-hmm.
But she had also asked for that, and moving forward, I know budget season's around the corner, also needed anyway.
Yes.
So that should have been in there. Did you guys get that?
It is.
Okay. Yeah, so I had addressed major projects here. Ambulance replacement program, fire gear replacement program, the rapid response utility admin small vehicle replacement program, and then other things I see down the road. Cardiac monitors are a few years out. The Lucas devices are probably 5 years out from end of life. So there are things, those are one-time bulk purchases, but yeah, the ambulance, the vehicles and fire gear should be an annual thing. So yeah, that's something we definitely.
Well, again, you're one step ahead in the right direction. So thank you for doing that. I don't know where I'm going to end up going with this. I was just waiting for more discussion, but if I don't hear anything, I'll probably move to include that as part of the CIP process.
This the one?
Yeah.
I share.
There was like 8 documents I uploaded as part of my thing, so I'm not sure.
That's a lot of work, and it's good work. Thank you.
Well, I've been working on this quite some time, so it's accumulated. But yeah. And there are going to be other things like you're talking about that we've identified. You're correct with this being new, the county just taking on this. We are finding things on a regular basis that we're going to have to address, and things that are going to be done differently than they have in the past. So
I share Commissioner Jackson's concern with the age of our equipment and buying another ambulance. And of course, I know that the timing is part of the problem. So we just don't go out and find an ambulance in Hagerstown or someplace like that, or Winchester.
you're not getting what you want when you do that.
Yeah.
I guess
Well, we want, I think, moving forward, all our ambulances to be as uniform as
Mhm.
possible.
All right.
Do you have something else?
I was
can
just
see you thinking.
thinking, I mean, getting ready to go into budget season, getting ready to take a good hard look at our capital outlays, which would be outside of ARPA. I mean, I know you want bringing this, but I would like to see what we have in the form of capital outlays for those replacements before we commit this ARPA money
Sure.
to this purchase.
That's been my only real concern is we haven't had the opportunity to make a decision on items moving forward. So this is kind of a stopgap, but it literally, yeah, if we can dedicate, I mean, I can start the process with the committee and all that. That does take time. But felt like until we knew when and the money would be there, it was kind of moot.
Well, and again, we're going into budget season. We have some
Absolutely.
unknowns, obviously. A lot of departments needing capital outlays, but, and as much as I would hate to do it, I would urge delaying this until we at least get through the budget process and determine if the ARPA funds is what we have, the brunt of the capital outlays for ESA, or if we can provide that out of capital outlays, then we know what we can do with those remaining ARPA funds. That for me is the safe thing to
think
do and
that's-
fiscally responsible.
I can accept that. I think we've been this many months. I just don't want to keep coming back every meeting. So if we set up more of a deadline.
And I think if you could, I don't know how quickly you can get a committee together, but we're going to need that information going into budget season on what we need to consider, at least outliers of subsequent years on replacement program, which I know you have some of that here.
Yeah, the general program's there, and then the asset list has just planning ahead, what each unit, when it would be replaced. So that's starting at the top, that's moving down, and that includes the smaller equipment in there as well, but yeah.
It is an endeavor that the county's taken on, and there's a lot of unknowns, so that's. where
Yeah,
the
there's-
recommendations come from.
Unfortunately, there's a lot more to the service than just owning the ambulances and running them every day. Down the road, it's going to evolve, and it's going to have to get bigger. Every house they build is more demand, so we know there's no stopping that here, but yeah. So
All right, I'll make a 3-part motion. Really good discussion. If it passes, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. We can restructure the motion. I move to approve the purchase as outlined by Director Sign. Second part, request a vehicle replacement plan as part of the CIP process. And then third, address underserved communities for equality. And direct the staff to address underserved communities for equality as part of that vehicle replacement.
I think those have to be 3 separate motions. I
think the purchase price is-
Yeah.
Sure. You guys want to do? All right, so well, the reason I put them together is that I didn't want folks to think that cut off discussion after approval. Because the reason I want to approve the purchase is that attached to that, so to speak, is a plan to address the concerns that have been raised. First, equality across the county, and second, having a plan that's fiscally responsible. But the words are already out there, so I'll make the first motion, and then hopefully we can have another motion after that. So I'll approve. I move.
Commissioner, just to be, the real issue on the floor on the agenda is that, but because it's an ambulance issue, we don't specifically help to do the exact. So I think you could make it.
Okay. I move to approve the purchase as outlined by Director Sign. Sorry, it's a little vague, but there's no recommended motion text here.
I'll second that. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'll make it. After we vote on this, I'd like to make another motion. So if you could refrain from moving on to the next item.
And just for discussion purposes on this motion, I'm not going to save our resources and just use ambulance in stock.
Fair enough. Any other discussion?
I think the points raised by Commissioner Jackson and Commissioner Tab are prudent. I respect your view. I'll be voting for it, but I understand where you're coming from.
Percent liquidity as well. All right, for approval of the purchase signify by saying aye.
No.
All right, motion fails.
Okay. You want to make it? I can make it. It's your idea, so.
Oh, no, go
I don't wanna
ahead.
steal your
You've
thunder.
got, you took the time to write it down, so go ahead.
With sage advice and wisdom from my fellow commissioners, I move that we request that the staff develop a vehicle replacement plan as part of the CIP process, and request that the staff address underserved communities for equality when developing that plan.
Second. Any discussion?
I just want to add, not to light a fire under you, Mike. So if we could get that, well, before, we could get that as we go into budget season in March. So if that can be done, I don't know if that can be done, so we can have a full picture of what we need to
Well, I mean,
consider.
I have the CIP, which is not the official form, but I just need to put it on the county official form.
Well,
I think
I guess I'm talking about if you're going to put a committee together on specking out a new.
Yeah, I can't guarantee we'd have a spec together, but I can have, we will be able to contact vendors and get general pricing and more timelines, so we can have that information.
Yeah, just so as we go into budget season, we've got some of that in front of us, so we can make sound decisions.
And then as rapid as possible, if they can get something together, we would need, of course, to you guys to approve for the RFP to be put out, so.
Yeah, we're just looking for, I guess, an estimate or what we're up against for budgeting purposes.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I'll just make one more comment. Thanks to the staff for looking ahead, putting this together. It's like a great start. Look forward to hearing from the committee and as more details are put together. Thank you to Commissioner Jackson for her leadership on this, and
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Take a short break and be right back. You ready? All right, we're back. We're gonna move on to agenda item number 6, Dan Murphy, Greenway Engineering.
We got misnumbered something.
Oh, am I on?
Well, no, but number 1 is the selection of president, and vice president.
I mean 6.
On
On the one that I put on this morning, it was corrected. Yeah,
Okay, so we're on 6. Okay, that's what, okay. I'm using the one that you gave me.
then that's the correct.
Okay, all right, agenda item number 6, Dan Murphy, Greenway Engineering. This is for Barber Seal subdivision phase 2. It's a request for map zoning amendment.
Dan is online. Dan?
Yeah, hi. This is Dan Murphy from Greenway Engineering. I'm applying for this on behalf of the client, Arcadia Development, to be on Planning Commission public hearing for the rezoning package.
Yes, sir. I think the only thing, Mrs. Brockman, you want to come forward, sorry. I think the purpose for this to be on our agenda is what we do is send this to the Planning Commission for the recommendation that we schedule a public hearing at this body, correct?
Yeah, you need to schedule the public hearing today within 60 days and send it to the Planning Commission for their recommendation as to whether it's in conformance with the comprehensive plan.
And the Planning Commission meets next Tuesday, and they can take it up on their agenda on
Can take
January
it, yes.
9th. Okay, so from now until February 15th, we can have a public hearing on this agenda item, correct? That's the, commissioners, would you prefer to have this on February 1st meeting? That'll give enough time to advertise, correct? Does that sound satisfactory to everybody?
It goes to the planning commission first, then to us for public hearing, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
We do have to.
February 1st.
I thought we did. We don't have calendar.
Yes, it is on our list at 1:30.
Okay, well, that February 1st is a regular scheduled meeting, and we'll have that'll be a morning meeting.
Yes, I just wanted to be sure that.
We don't know, yeah,
Usually you pick a time for the public hearing though, like 11 o'clock or something, so that it's advertised.
So we advertise, okay, we'll stop our regular business and start that at 11.
Or, I mean, I just picked 11 as an example, but
Okay.
whatever time works.
All right. All right, I'll move that we send this request to Planning Commission per state code to see if it is in conformance with the comprehensive plan, and also to schedule the public hearing for this request at this body at February 1st, for February 1st at 11 a.m. Fair enough. Make any amendments, I will. Wait a second. Any discussion? Sure, go ahead.
Nice to meet you.
Great to.
So obviously I'm new here. I'm just curious, in your practice on the Planning Commission, is it typical or is it frequent to have zoning map amendments? And do you have any thoughts on whether this should be wrapped into the broader comprehensive plan update process, or per practice, is it reasonable and common to have this as a one-off?
So the way that it works is the comprehensive plan has a future land use element, map and text that says where we think growth should occur, but we don't actually rezone the properties. The county commission doesn't initiate top-down rezonings. It's up to individual people to petition to rezone to theoretically in conformance with the comprehensive plan, and most of them have been. So this is a request to say the comprehensive plan said that we should be low density residential, so we would like to rezone to low density residential. In this case, it happens to be consistent with the planning commission needs to make that determination. So the comprehensive plan gives the direction, but the individual property owners are who initiate the map amendments.
That's exactly what I wanted to know.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, next we're going to move to agenda item number 7, Roger Goodwin, Chief County Engineer.
Have just one item of bond release. complete release of the remaining $116,242 for the construction bond amount for Marquis Roper, Cape Porter Estates subdivision, Section C, lots 48 to 51, and residue lots A and B. Planning Commission file number 04-08. This project's located off Route 36 Old Cave Road and the Foxhall Road. Work is to be 100% complete. And on the agenda request is a recommended motion.
I authorize the complete release letter of credit to BCT Bank in the amount of $116,240. Construction bond for Mark State Subdivision, Section C, lots 48 and 51, residue lots A and B, file 4-.
Second.
Any discussion?
Here, I'll just raise a question for the staff. Have we heard any feedback from neighbors or adjoining property owners about runoff or other damages to their adjacent properties?
We do, we make the developer aware of them, and if any complaints are justified, we'll hold release in the bond. Basically twist the developer's arm to fix the issue.
It's as you would per your job. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Just to let you know, at the February 1st meeting, we're also planning to present to you the annual impact fee report, the impact fee capital. So we're shooting for your February 1st agenda.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, next we're going to move to agenda item number 8. Alex, Jenny? All right.
This is a request to approve a partial refund of an overpayment of subdivision fees for Phase 4B of the Bel Air residential development. When they paid their fees, they thought they had 35 lots. And when we did the review, there were 36 lots, or they paid for 36, they only had 35 lots. So $120 of the refund is for that. And then they did another minor plat change, which they paid 175 instead of 100. So the combined refund is $145.
I'll request the partial refund related to an overpayment of subdivision fees for 4B of the Bel Air residential subdivision.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. It's a really small amount. I'm just curious. Why is it that this comes to the commission and it's not an administrative? Is there some sort of threshold?
We don't have any check writing ability. We only take money in, but we don't have any ability to write checks. So you all approve all the checks and we'll send it. Whoever's in that position now, and they'll write the check back to them.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, we're moving on to agenda item number 9. Nick Myers, Deputy Director, Jefferson County Homeland Security.
Okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
It is still morning, yes.
It is.
Hopefully everybody had a good holiday season. Good new year. So, of course, I'm here on behalf of our department. Steve has been out. I know that he's been in contact with the president. Been out since the middle of November. And hopefully, with any luck, he'll be back. So that's the reason I'm before you. Plus, it's a good thing for me to come before you because I'm actually going to put money back into the budget instead of trying to ask for money to take back out. But before you got the approval for our 21 management performance grant, the amount of $62,342. And just requesting the president's signature so we can put that in to apply for that money to get reimbursed.
I'll move to have the county commission sign the 2021 emergency management performance grant award document. Have him sign that for reimbursement in the amount of $62,300.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. I don't have a, do you need a blue pen or?
It doesn't matter. Whenever we scan it, it goes through and it doesn't show what's blue anyway. Everything had to be in blue ink.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next.
That's it. Before we move on, I just wanted to give you an update on our 5-year hazard mitigation plan. Of course, you know, it comes due by the end of the month where we won't be covered, so to speak. We've been pressing very hard to get that finished, and it's been through FEMA. At this point, FEMA sent it back to us for just some minor corrections. And as of this time, we made those minor corrections and it's back in FEMA's hands. So hopefully before the end of the week, we'll get that approved through them. And then, like I said, we'll be back at your next agenda meeting for you guys to approve that plan. So, all right. And Steve said to wish you guys a happy new year. He's not able to be here.
It's to him.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. He's got a cardiology appointment today to do a stress test, so whatever the results are from that, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you.
All right, we're going to move to agenda item number 10. Director, in terms interim county administrator and CDA director.
All right, so I come before you today for 2 issues. First, the hiring of Madison Walker to be a fellow in the JCDA at a rate of $17 an hour for the spring semester of 2024, not to exceed $2,500. This is a part-time hourly position. The hire was unanimously approved by the JCDA board on December 19th, and it's budget neutral.
Just explain what Madison will be doing as a fellow.
So we are trying to take, we have various roles within the JCDA, and we're trying to partner that with what her studies are. Part of the reason that we were especially interested in her is because she has experience and she likes legislation. So this is legislation season in the spring semester. So she's already been invited to come along to first legislative meeting for economic development. So it's really 1 day a week in the office. It will fit around her schedule and ours, so it's able to partner and build a bench within the JCDA as a potential employee in the future.
And the reason that you're using the term fellow is because it's linked to her current study and it's a part-time position. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's correct. It's similar to intern, but intern usually will take on lower level tasks that are things like copying, running coffee, or setting up meetings. And we really want to partner with her studies at school. And so she'll be able to do things like research and write papers. And I hope to have her here when the JCDA is before you so that she can learn the process of government and economic development.
Thank you.
Interesting model. Do other departments have fellowship programs?
They've called them interns before. So for instance, with the comprehensive plan process, they're using interns there. Again, we really want to foster that education and county connection. So that's why we're using it as a fellowship.
My work in the private sector, I've noticed that there's a trend towards shifting away from their model of internships, moving towards a fellowship model, maybe not using that term, as you just described, so that younger people can get more substantive work experience. I think that's very interesting, and I'd like to see the county participate in that trend. And it would also assign the tasks that were being handled by the traditional internship position to administrative professionals, which I think is also a good trend. So generally speaking, I like this idea, and I'll be voting to approve. Next motion.
You want to roll?
I'll skip so you have it right.
Oh, I have it right here. Okay, I'll move to approve the hire of Madison Walker for $17 an hour for the spring semester 2024, not to exceed $2,500. Okay. And
For the JCDA.
JCDA.
Second.
So in
Sorry, go ahead.
the motions are on the second page if you.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here it is. Okay, I just scrolled to it. All right, I'll move to approve hire Madison Walker for the fellow for the Jefferson County Development Authority, starting date of January 8th, 2024, for the spring semester at an hourly rate of $17 an hour. All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0.
So
The second part of the motion,
there's a second motion.
to resolve that the Jefferson County Development Authority is the lead economic development organization for the county.
So
Seems self-evident. What am I missing here?
So, and sorry that these are on 2 pages, but the Jefferson County Development Authority applies for an annual grant through the state. And one of the requirements is a resolution that the JCDA is the lead economic development agency for the county. The JCDA was established in 1979, so we've been doing it for years, but that's why we still need minutes from the commission that resolve that we are the lead economic development agency. And so if you'll see on page 2, number 2, that's that resolution so that we can apply for that grant through the state.
Okay.
I'll move to resolve that the Jefferson County Development Authority is the lead economic development organization for the county.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. All right. Next is Nathan Cox, number 11. Do you have anything, Nathan? No, I got that. All right.
May I
Well,
ask a question?
Sure.
This is a practice that we keep listing the same paragraphs of text. Could you explain why we do that for every meeting? It's just a little bit confusing.
Well, the primary reason is the Open Meetings Act, and some of these things have developments that are already as we speak. And I do not know from week to week sometimes whether or not there's an issue that you need to decide. If it's not on the agenda, I can't get you to decide. You know, I could probably remove some of these from the agenda, but it may require getting you to call a special meeting or something to deal with it.
It functions almost as a placeholder?
Yes.
Is that fair?
So.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
When it says potential action regarding proposed solar technology, that means potential legal action against the county. It doesn't mean potential act by the commission. Do I read that correctly?
Yeah, that has, that I think would be a fair reading of that. All of these cases are ongoing, or they have ramifications based on what is developing as the cases go. And so, because there have been significant solar and there are a variety of appeals that have been based on these things that have happened.
And last question, if it's possible to reword this, maintain the placeholder status, if you will, that'd be nice, because I get contacted from constituents before every meeting saying, I see potential action on solar on your agenda. It's just a little bit confusing.
Sure.
The way you read it, sounds like the commission's taking up business.
Yeah, I can review these and narrow them down a little bit.
Thank you.
All right.
So do we have updates on these things? Because I haven't had any.
Well, as you know, the commission retained the services of Will Law to deal with most of the solar stuff. Stemming from, I got COVID very badly when it first came out in November of 2020. And there were a couple of lawsuits filed at that time. So we retained Will to help us with that stuff. And when I say we, I mean, we were but so as the cases progressed, they all are sort of intertwined and they all build on each other. And so we kept using Will because he has knowledge of what happened in like the prior cases that are not really, it's not really written down anywhere. And you go to court and folks are making arguments based on something that happened in 2 cases ago that he's the one that knows about. So we have kept using him as third counsel. And so does that answer your question?
So I understand, I'm sorry. I understand about Mr. Lincoln, but what I'm not sure about is, I mean, there's a lot of things on this page. There are 4 different sections here. And I'm just curious. if there's been any discussion on the because we haven't had any update on any of these things.
Well,
So maybe Mr.
yeah. Okay, and that's a fair question. Some of these have been more or less resolved. There are also appeals that reach back to some of them. So it's kind of like a lot of them are intertwined. But as far as like giving you updates, and I can certainly get Mr. Roboto to come and give you the latest update where we are with the remaining cases. If you want. And maybe that would be good.
We have to, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Would we have to pay for that? Or is that, is it retained? We have to pay per hour?
Yeah. And so
I just want to note that we did have a briefing during our last meeting. It's that special session. We got a whole, we had a lay of the land for Mr. Rohrbach.
okay. Well, I wasn't here for that.
That's what I'm remembering. Here.
That is what I'm referring to, yeah.
Well, it's not in- The point is, there were several things we haven't had an update on. I haven't heard anything about the opioid issues. I think like Kayla is going to head up to something with the opioid district. things like that. I don't know if that's something to do.
In the opioid issue, as you know, the commission retained the services of counsel to represent the commission in the opioid litigation. Some of these things,
Predated all of us.
Yeah, I was
Except
here.
for Commissioner
but
Taft.
some of these things are like, they're just a different kind of litigation and they're very massive and it would take all of my time plus probably other people's time to have proceeded on this. And so we retained counsel, and again, when I say we, retained counsel to help us. And that counsel is working on, not on an hour, a percentage.
For the opioid.
Yes,
Sorry, got it.
So, and actually, he was planning to be here today, but he had another issue that drew him away. I imagine that he will try to be here at the next meeting. He's got some information to update. No, Mr. Skinner, who's our opioid. And I think, you know, there've been some positive developments in that case that he wants to update you on. Unfortunately, he couldn't get here this morning. So, I understand.
Update on either of those.
Yes, we, on item C, there was a potential negotiation regarding some property in which the county had an interest. That issue is, it kind of went department. But again, I'm always concerned that there'll be a development and we need to address it. I could probably remove that issue for right now. And, obviously we can call a special meeting if needed. And then there's an issue regarding the deputy sheriff and wages. And that I need to, I think if I were to address that, I need to go to executive session. However, there has been there's been some litigation on that, and our insurance counsel is representing you on that, but he has been waiting for the initial steps of that to come in and talk. So I can give you some information on that if you want. Executive session to do that, to provide you with some legal advice. But I would prefer that in the near future, we have counsel who is representing us on that issue come in and talk to you, because it's much more plugged into that. Describe it much better than I can.
And I just want to say that I am entitled to information everybody else is here. And because I had to excuse myself, section of the it's not me, I'm not it. Thank you.
We're going to move on to agenda item number 12, request IT department. So, further options, Mr. Tapp.
Yeah, I mean, we've had complaints that people can't hear us, and I don't know what type of, microphone system we can use that won't interfere with the audio up there and the taping of the meeting and so forth. So I just want IT to look into it.
Bring back a quote.
Yeah, yeah. We used to have individual ones, but that whole apparatus died and we did fairly well. But when we have a crowd in here, it's hard to hear.
It's in the volume that people are using. I know Jennifer's voice is low today because obviously she's got something going on, but I'm thinking we almost need the desktop mics again in order for people to hear us, because you're right.
Yeah.
You're talking and we got a full room, can't hear what you're saying, and
There's rustling in the background.
correct.
There is whenever you have a crowd.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I just want them to research, since they're familiar with the current system that we have, audio.
We have a system that is on the screen. Everything.
This speech, yes, that was part of it, but that's where we used to put the batteries in. Our visual microphones, that whole system is obsolete. And so it really wasn't worthwhile. Maybe invest in something old.
I suppose my question is, we had a system. And it was super until we had a storm.
And then Michaela and Russell were working because they didn't want to replace what the storm damaged.
I'm not understanding. I think I recall Michaela was working to get something resolved. And then Michaela disappeared, so I don't know.
You can talk to Russell, reach out to
Well,
Russell.
and that is the purpose of this on the agenda. It's to have our county administrator follow up with the IT. Everybody's agreed.
Move a motion for that. I think everybody supports it.
Well, we definitely don't need that many.
So I move that that's the county administrator contact IT department or whomever she thinks can resolve the issue of everyone hearing in the meeting room, whatever solution will take. I don't have the expertise to
Bring
know.
back a quote.
Yes,
Quote.
with a quote.
Any discussion?
During our last meeting, Commissioner Jackson brought up transparency issues. I think this is an element of that. Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Thank you, Commissioner Tab, for raising this on our agenda this week. I think these are all related. The public has to be able to follow along what we're doing in the meeting.
Yes, they do.
And I think an element of that, this is an IT question, but if we could have motions displayed for the public to understand it in real time, that capability is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. You can talk into your phone and have the text. It's not complicated. But if we can have that during our meetings, that would be really helpful, because I've heard from reporters, what was the motion? I didn't hear you. If you have it displayed on a screen, that would be really helpful. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but I don't think it's that difficult. I think it's out there and it's available.
And to look into, not just
Can
microphones.
expand the motion to include your suggestion. I'm fine with that as an amendment to my motion.
Next, I guess. You second that? Sure. All right. Motion has been amended with a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. All right. Approval. This is back to you, Eddie. Approval to re-advertise the deputy county administrator.
So just to give you some background, I've met with most of the elected and department heads. And in those meetings, 75% of our conversations revolve around HR issues. And so because of that, I asked Jessica to place the re-solicitation of the deputy position on the agenda, because this is our primary HR person. And if you look over, I didn't change any of the job description. This is all previous job description details. And so after doing that, I've met with all of you, and Commissioner Jackson, with her great HR background, also talked to me about some certifications that I might want to look for in interviewing, and then places to solicit this. So SHRM is meeting next Wednesday morning and is willing to have me present this position before them, because we need someone that has HR experience and someone that has leadership experience, and we need those two together. Then we also talked about the West Virginia Association of Counties and West Virginia Association of County Commissioners and West Virginia Association of Municipalities, soliciting through all those sources, because it's really important that this be a strong hire and not just someone new to the position or willing to grow. And speaking to several of you, I've called this person part of the starting five. This is not our bench person. This is our person that is in game time, starting on the floor. And so I put it before you. I really hope that we can go ahead and get this solicitation out and get it out quickly. I think it's 4 weeks for the position to be open, and I think that gives us a great time using all of those resources. We also talked about Blue Ridge and Shepherd, going to those sources as well.
So I have a couple concerns, is that you just started in this role as an interim county administrator. Advertising, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but I have concerns of hiring before we have a permanent placement for the county administrator position, because ultimately whoever is selected for that role, this person would be reporting to. So I think it's important that we have a permanent full-time county administrator in place and that they're involved in this process. So I have a few reservations. Like I said, advertising is one thing, but I don't think we can proceed with hiring until we know who that permanent county administrator is going to be. Speaking of that, I don't know if we can do this. Do we have any updates on where we are with the advertisement with that and how many resumes we've received? Or that was posted, right? The permanent full-time county administrator position.
And so all of these have come in prior to me. And I would like to I am considering throwing my name into the hat. So those are not resumes that I should even review if I'm considering putting my name in the hat. So, you know, if we've received those, and I'll be sending those to Jessica.
They go straight to Jessica, but I do believe that she has been receiving resumes for that position.
So I think when we were hiring for the interim, I believe all the commissioners received the resumes that came in.
Once, I think the ones that is closed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Jessica has all that information on, and yes, to your point. You shouldn't see. So again, I don't mind advertising this, but I really think until we get the permanent person in and it can be involved, I don't think we can proceed with actually hiring of.
I'm sorry about this. I really think, I brought it up at the previous meeting. I really think it's important because of all the issues that our county has faced. When we sit in this hearing, that we should sit very seriously hiring an outside firm to essentially right the ship. I will bring up PPG, for instance, an unbiased place, excuse me, that could come in, evaluate what's going on. There may be positions we might, and there may be positions we don't. I don't think it's very good that we consider this. We have a lot of problems here that need addressing. And I think that it would really help us to get things right and to go forward. And at that point, we have to hire somebody and keep us moving in the right direction.
Commissioner Krause, if I'm hearing what you're saying, you're suggesting someone to do like a needs assessment and an organizational structure evaluation.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
going to make a motion to approve the re-advertising for the deputy county administrator presented.
We have a motion or any discussion. To your point, Commissioner Krause, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I think that's what happened on the agenda, that we might have to run a RF request for
RP.
We will have to run an RP for something like that. So
I should make a motion and get that on there.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, opposed, one. Motion carries 4-1. All right, we don't have anything else on the agenda today. If there are no objections, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Last item here.